He should have called me. Literally, I was like, I'm literally his neighbor. I was singing. Hello.
I'd like, I don't think I'm working. Testing. Okay. I'd like to welcome everybody. This is Binghamton City Council work session. It is Monday, August 25th. It is 6:04 p.m. I call the meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Madam Clerk, can we do a roll call, please?
Councilmember Murray is absent. Councilmember Middleton.
Present.
Councilmember Kavanaugh.
Present.
Councilmember Hotchkiss.
Present.
Councilmember Matavetsky.
Present.
Councilmember Rathmel. Present. Council President Dundon.
President.
Thank you.
So our first presenter is Al Gardner, the Fire Chief, and this is in the Finance Committee, and I'll hand it over to the Finance Committee Chair, Councilmember Kavanaugh.
Good evening, Chief.
Good evening.
Hi, CR. So apparatus problems.
Yes, yeah, they're
Do you want to give
continuing.
us the overview?
Yeah, this is an ordinance to amend the 2025 fire budget to account for engine repair and parts for the engine repair. We lost the engine in our spare engine, diesel engine. It basically blew. And so we need to put in a reman engine, a rebuilt one. And it's a cost of over $30,000.
So has this already been done in kind of an emergency fashion, or?
It's going to be. It's not done yet. It was just diagnosed a few weeks ago.
Right. And I'm sorry, this is the diesel engine in what?
A fire truck.
One of the truck,
Yeah.
pump truck, ladder truck? I
Yeah,
mean, what do we got?
Pumper truck. Yeah, pumper truck. It's our spare. It's our frontline spare. The trucks go down in the station. They need to be repaired. They take this one to replace it temporarily, and we also use it at the training center for training.
So the spare is out of service right now.
Yes.
So trying to think, what do we have on order? We have a ladder truck on order?
Ladder truck, yes.
not a pumper truck. So this
No.
is still going to be, so if we put the money in to fix the spare, this is still going to be the spare for a while. We don't have another one
Correct.
coming to.
Correct.
Okay.
How often is that spare used?
Excuse me?
How often is that spare used?
It's often. It's used a lot in training. We use it for hose testing. And it's used in our probationary classes, our recruit firefighter training classes. So it gets quite heavy use.
And CR, we're grabbing these funds from where?
From some revenue lines that we've received extra revenue in, and then I'm taking some from, I think, one of his lines.
Yeah, there was a small amount from in his budget, but so
Yeah.
we have healthier than expected revenue out of,
No, we've already received the revenue in these three lines, the court facilities and zoning fees and building and alteration fees. We've already received more than what we've budgeted for, and we're still receiving more.
thank you. Any other question? I'll motion to expedite.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, could we do a roll call, please?
Councilmember Rathmel,
Aye.
Councilmember Matavetsky,
Aye.
Councilmember Hotchkiss,
Aye.
Councilmember Kavanaugh,
Aye.
Councilmember
Aye.
Middleton, Councilmember Murray is absent, Council President Dundon.
Aye.
Thank you. That is 6-0.
Thank you so much, Al.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Our next presenter is Billy Goodson, and this is also in the Finance Committee, and I'll hand it over to Councilmember Kavanaugh.
Good evening.
Hi, Billy. So there was some attached explanation from within the treatment plant departments about some of these needs, but could you throw it in layman's terms for us, and what are the
Okay, this is
What did he say?
Larry. He's the electrical engineer. And I think you've met Howard before. He's a maintenance engineer.
good evening?
So I'll start. So the UV system is our only means of disinfection.
Can you push the microphone just a little?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Sorry. There you go.
There we go. Is that better?
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Our UV system, that's how we disinfect. We need both of those channels running all of the time. The problem we're having right now, and we don't know if it's because of the high heat from when we ran it during the 2022 incident with the CNs, but the seals around the lamp connectors, they're just O-rings, but they're starting to leak. So we're getting condensation down into the lamps and they're burning out those lamps. The lamps are about $500 a piece. So every time we burn out a lamp, we're out $500. So that $20,000 is for spare lamps because we need to replace some that are in the system that are out, and the lamp connectors to hopefully mitigate this issue and ease some of the pain right now.
For anyone who wasn't here for the CN event, the UVs were our main line of attack because those CNs were down. So they were running constantly.
Yeah, we were running those at
Instead
100%,
of at
both
like,
channels, so.
they used to,
So the rate the lamps are burning out now is how much shorter of their expected life expectancy?
It depends. If it's a fresh lamp, we put it in and that leaks or we get condensation in there, it could be, within 100 hours. And they're
Wow.
14,000 hour lamps, so
This is becoming very costly very quickly.
yeah, they identified, the end of last year, we had Wedico come in and do a service on it. They had identified 40 that were suspect of the lamp connectors. So I have that in the budget for next year. 20 will get us by for this year and get the worst of them taken care of, so.
And so Wedico, I'm sorry, is the
I'm sorry.
manufacturer, or the service contractor, what for the?
What
system?
they're the system designers. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And they're relatively confident that the lamp connectors are the problem and the source of the,
Yeah, there was
condensation.
no damage to the crystal sleeves or anything else on there, and no signs of where it could be leaking other than the O-rings.
so you're asking for 25 more lamps. How many do you have spare now?
Right now, we have one on the shelf, and the rest of them are all slated for replacing lamps that are out currently.
So what,
We have 21 in-house right now, but we
how many
need-
lamps total are in the system?
Oh, I'm sorry, in the system, 288.
It's 288.
Yes.
And you've got 21 spares going in and you're asking for 25 more spares.
Yes, sir.
And this is going to half solve the problem. You're going to want to place,
This will fix the worst of them for right now. I have it in the budget for 2026 for another 40 connectors to replace the remaining ones that are starting to fail, and put some on the shelf in case more start to fail in the future.
so and you're saying put it on the shelf. What's the turnaround time on getting these parts? Is it something that we do need to keep in stock in that quantity, or
Well, I'm sorry, say that again.
what's the turnaround on ordering these parts? Is it?
They're usually a few weeks for the lamps. The connectors should be about the same. I haven't heard any different, so.
Yeah, because Larry, you said you needed to replace 40, so you're going to do 20 this year, and then you have 40 budgeted to replace the last 20 and then keep 20 on the shelf, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, because I'm sure you have some that's more of a drip type condensation versus
Yeah, some of the
just
tubes
getting
are
a little
definitely filling
sweaty
up.
like a water bottle.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. That's item 1. Who wants to talk about an auger motor?
I did not cite any specifics, and I assumed that what you read was my
Oh, I'm sorry.
preview.
No, is that the additional $8,000 for the electrical line?
Yes,
Okay, that's the mine.
that's you.
Yes.
You're also auger motor.
Yes,
Okay.
that was in the beginning of the year, January, I believe. Our CMMS clerk let me know that we had 2 motors that were failing, and we did not have any spares on the shelves. Therefore, our primary settling tanks, so we need to make sure those are always available. So that was an unexpected cost, but as of right now, I just had to spend another $3,000 on an LEL sensor for our methanol system. So I'm down to 6,000 in that line for the rest of the year, which is not gonna cut it, I don't
So
think.
this money is replacing money that you spent in January on the
Yes, sir.
auger motor, essentially.
Yes, sir. And hoping that we won't have any major issues come up between now and the end of the year, and it'll get us by.
So as a general question,
Mhm.
when you're saying a consultant or contractor came in and looked at these auger motors and finds them failing, was there a maintenance schedule is being kept up on them, or
This was
or are
this was
these
identified.
end of
in-
life,
sorry.
or what are we?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. This was identified in-house. This is a separate process from the UV system. The auger motor was for the primary settling tanks. So that's a different process, but that was identified in-house by our mechanics.
But was it at its life expectancy, or are we having premature
that
failure for some reason, or?
I don't know that off the top of my head, sir, sorry.
All right, that's your lines, and then I guess we're going to. the screw conveyor, the CPEX, the positioners, and the Daikin bearing.
Those were unexpected costs this year. So, I'm asking for 30,000. You can see the 30,000 right there in unexpected costs. That was before June of this year even. As a matter of fact, yesterday we snapped another auger. We had an inch of rain, washed in everything from the collection system in a matter of 4 hours, and we snapped an auger bit trying to push all that grit through the system. I hope that Evans can can weld it adequately to get us through the year. But these are the types of unexpected costs that we run into. I think that's what I was trying to highlight. Those are big ticket items that we did not plan on. They're not part of routine maintenance. The screw conveyor you see there, I was going to replace that next year. Didn't work out that way for me. I had to do it this year. So based on our current spending, the $30,000 is to make sure that we don't fall short by the end of the year.
To make sure you don't fall short by the end of the year.
I mean, I technically already have, right? I want to make sure that we maintain the equipment for the rest of the year, regardless of what happens. I think a part of it is due to low budget. I think we've always asked for very reasonable budget requests. $300 million. If you consider 150 million to be the replacement cost, we should be spending $4.5 million a year on maintenance. I haven't even asked for $500,000. And it's starting to kick me in the butt. And I, in all honesty, my budgets are going to start coming in higher, a little bit higher. We're 6 years after the project. We're starting to see any kinks that are developing. And costs are going to increase, and I need to reflect it more accurately in my forecasting, I suppose. So this is a shortfall on my forecasting abilities.
But when I start to see words like premature failure,
Yes.
I'm need to start asking, is it because something was not foreseen in the system design that things are getting overloaded, or were maintenance contracts not in place, or is maintenance falling behind 6 years into the project, or in after this rehab? I mean, I that's what I'm.
No, that's a valid question. We have a very robust maintenance program. We use e-maintenance. It's a Fluke product. It generates probably 100 work orders, 150 work orders every week between mine and Larry's department to do preventative maintenance. The screw conveyor that broke, we go in there every other month and clean it out and inspect it. You know, there's water lines to all the bearings. We have to inspect the bearings and make sure we're not prematurely wearing on the flight. So robust maintenance. There was a hard metal object in a CPEX pump. Nothing I can do about that. We had positioners fail after a recent CN event. We had Rotort come in and put all new positioners, and they failed due to moisture content. We're working on changing the design of that so that we don't have the future. It's in a basement. It's moist. I think we got a pretty robust maintenance program. I guess the problem we have at the plant is that we don't have a consistent raw material, right? Frito-Lay gets the same loads of potatoes every week. Pumps down the pipe. You never know what it's going to be. I think that's part of my back and forth. I don't know what I'm getting, what I'm going to run into.
So you've had these 4 unexpected events in 2025, and you are expecting some more unexpected events in 2025.
I just had one yesterday. So like I think in the first paragraph, I summed it up. I think, you know, based on current spending, I put my budget together 6 months. I'm able to spend it too. A lot of times I'm already behind the 8 ball come January. And I'm not griping about the budget process. I'm just letting you kind of inside baseball into where
No,
my short-
absolutely.
where I'm coming up short. So
Yeah, I don't think any of us expect it to be easy. So
Okay.
and the hope is I don't have to come back here again, right? But I would rather come here and ask for a little money in the second half of the year than put exorbitant budgets.
No, we would rather, I would rather have you do that too, you know, keep the budget in line and, you know, that's why we have the amendment process, you know, just like this. I'm just, I think whether this is the right time to do it or wait till you have an actual need. But given the number of events, and the number of months left in the year, I'm tending toward, all right, we will amend this line and
Yeah,
some more money
those
in
were
it.
just the first, I didn't want to give you all of them. Those are just like till March. So, yeah, I don't know.
I understand that. All right. Any other questions? No? All right. Thank you all very much.
Thank you so much. Our next presenter is Mr. Nathan Hotchkiss, council member of District 4. And I'll turn this over to the Planning Committee and Planning Committee Chair, Councilmember Rathmel.
thank you. Wait. Did we, hold on. Did we skip one? So it should
No.
be Nate for Public Works and Parks, right?
Nope.
What am I looking? Nope. I'm looking at the agenda on the website, not the updated agenda that we would have gotten this evening. Apologies. So this is RL, thank you, Council President Dundon. This is RL 25-141, an ordinance to amend Chapter 410 zoning to permit accessory dwelling units in all residential zones. Councilmember Hotchkiss,
Yep. Thank you.
talk to us.
Okay, so I think last year we had amended some of the zoning language in chapter 410 around ADUs, around parking, and I didn't fully agree with everything. There's some good stuff in there, but I think I want to still change the accessory dwelling unit definition to come closer in line with what the state had provided, specifically allowing for the detached dwelling unit, so that you can convert a garage or something like that, so that you can have the backyard cottage or the in-law suite that so many people think of when they think of ADUs. Ultimately, just to create a little bit more flexibility for people to adjust how they can utilize their land and their space, and ultimately create more units to help address our housing crisis. And specifically, I'm bringing this back up to the table because I had a constituent reach out, and they are trying to figure out ways to make sure their elderly father has a place to live after being displaced from the last apartment that he was at. So their families are trying to address housing insecurity amongst themselves if they have a home, and by allowing them to have a detached ADU for the in-law suite, I think it gives a little bit more flexibility and allows that to happen. So that's what I'm aiming to do here.
Councilmember Hotchkiss, do you happen to know where the constituent's father was evicted from?
Yep, from Town and Country.
Interesting. Okay.
So, yeah, with all those renovations, there's also displacement and people scrambling to try to make sure their loved ones have a place to live. But ultimately, I just think this is a better policy for creating more units, gives people flexibility and helps people adjust. So,
I would add that I spoke to a constituent this morning who shared that her elderly father was, she believes, unreasonably evicted from Woodburn Court. And same story. He is a senior individual. She would love to be able to provide housing for him. Can't do it within the limitations of the space within her home, but an alternative like this one would provide. I mean, I hear from senior constituents weekly who are asking what to do. They're being priced out. We're seeing more seniors first-time homeless locally than we have in really ever. And I think for the senior family options, as well as providing the flexibility to enhance our opportunities to provide additional housing without the limitations of large development projects. This, to me, makes a lot of sense.
I mean, lastly, there's through HCR, there was a +1 ADU program where the state was committing $85 million towards helping people be able to build these units. And if our definition, we have to like get into that program, but if our definition is limited, we'd have less participation and opportunities to access that funding. So I think to me, it makes a lot of sense for people to be able to convert garages or create new spaces for dwelling. And I can't really, if you can afford to build it, like I think that's outstanding, and we need more of that. So that's why I brought this forward. If you guys have any other thoughts or revisions, I'm open to that. I believe if this passes through city council, it still has to go to the planning commission for approval.
So typically, the way we run zoning amendments is it gets referred over to the planning commission for review and a recommendation up or down, and then that recommendation comes to city council, and then city council votes on it.
Okay.
So not the planning committee, commission, not
Commission.
committee.
The planning committee can certainly work on it either before or after it goes
Don't
to the
patronize
planning
me.
commission.
Bob, and then because this is going to be applying to lots obviously near city boundaries and stuff. Are we also talking county planning?
Most likely, yes, this would have to get kicked over for 239 review by the county. Both given the amount of land affected as well as the fact your properties on the borders of the city, which if you're within, I think it's 500 feet of the border, then it gets referred over to 239 so that your neighboring municipalities can also comment on it or give comment.
You're about to say something, Councilman?
No, I
No,
was just
no.
starting to go through state agencies too. To what?
Oh,
SHPO, for example.
I don't know that they would necessarily be required to route to them.
Okay.
And that also goes more into the seeker process versus the 239 process.
Thank you.
Quick correction and apologies to the clerks and IT. I was previously looking at the formally updated agenda and packet and did not refresh my browser. So apologies.
Anyone else have any other questions for Councilmember Hotchkiss? All right, we'll be moving on.
I guess, like,
Oh.
is it something that we're thinking, doing a town hall or some sort of larger input since it impacts more people? Is this like what, just for your, trying to understand what your internal timeline and thoughts on outreach?
I wasn't really considering a town hall. I don't know how much people would want to participate in that. This, to me, it just doesn't seem like a hot button thing that there's going to be a lot of issues.
I would say our
But
zoning
We could
proposal,
still,
people were definitely concerned about the auxiliary dwelling units and things like that. Even
Hmm.
though that was only for attached and seemed very minor. I certainly got feedback on it.
yeah, I would consider doing a town hall and advertising it, but that wasn't in my initial timeline. I just wanted to get this back on the table, because a constituent was asking for it. So that's all.
Anyone else? All right, hearing none, we'll move on. Our next presenter is Chuck Robinson. He's our comptroller, and I will hand this over to Councilmember Kavanaugh, who's chair of the Finance Committee.
Hello again, CR. All right, so uploaded to Basecamp where the end of the, I'm sorry, the agenda says third quarter. This is second quarter results. So up through the end of June, we're looking at that we're uploaded for everyone to review on Basecamp. And IT had sent us all that notice. I spent some time going to the munis reports. Is there anything you would like to, you want to give us a budget state of health here?
Yeah, I noticed-
Financial state of health.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, good evening. I noticed that it said third quarter, and I was like, I'm hoping they weren't hoping something for third quarter. Yeah, I ran some, I did just some little numbers just to throw at you for the first 6 months. In the general fund, right now, the largest variances are projected for the end of the year is sales tax and hotel motel tax. Sales tax is probably going to be up about $379,000. Hotel
Up.
motel tax.
Up. In
Up.
good,
We're-
in the
yeah,
good, in a
trend.
good
We've
direction.
gotten 2 payments so far, and that's we're at about 51.2% of the budget. So if you extrapolate that out, it'll be about $379,000.
I'm sorry,
hotel-
CR 329, Is that
379.
379. Thank you thus far.
Which is new this year, so it's all
All
good. Right now, we're projected at $215,000 for the year. The budget's like 250. So the pilots are down this year. 2 pilots dropped off. So our pilot revenue is going to be down.
Which pilots?
No, I'm payments in lieu of taxes. It's the
which 2 projects?
oh, I don't know. I
Right.
didn't ask Terry. I should have asked her about that.
So, but that's a good thing because they'll be paying full freight.
Because they'll be paying on the tax side. Yes. Parking meter fees is up about $90,000, and that's as of today. Interest is down, just due to the fact that we budgeted less than previous year, and their interest rates for our largest, like NICLAS and Chemung, have gone down just a little bit.
Can we, jumping back to the parking meter fees a little bit,
Mhm.
how are parking violations as well? I'm trying to judge the effectiveness of our extra parking enforcement officer.
Yeah, what this is. This is, oh, you mean the actual parking tickets themselves?
Yeah, so hopefully we have more compliance through the parking meter fees, and then we're probably, I don't know if we have, yeah.
Gotta
But we-
remember what line it's in.
Although 90,000 over expectation in meter fees, I would say is an indicator of
Right.
more
Our
compliance.
parking ticket fees is well above half of the year. We're at 306,000 and we're budgeted at 525. So we're
So
probably
we're-
going to come in about $600,000. So that would be a large increase as well.
And that was with free parking for Saturdays in July.
Well, these are only.
That was for the parking ramps.
And that's, so this is only street parking fees.
This is on
Okay.
street parking. Yeah,
Okay.
for the meters and the tickets that go along with everything that goes along with that. Yeah, I also had parking ticket fines here. They're $95,000 above budget as well. And then for expenses, our largest variances, if you haven't noticed, with all the RLs coming in, it's all vehicle parts and vehicle repairs due to various accidents in various departments. Fire OT is still climbing. Right now, it's at 6 months, it was $33,000 above budget. It's probably going to be more. They're still training the new trainees. Traffic signs is above budget. I believe that's due to the fact that they've got that new sign making machine and they've been making lots of signs this year.
I mean, I think, are they making up for lost time, so to speak? I think there's a backlog.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know some of those materials, I think, went up in price that they're using.
I know they had a lot in stock, but I think that's all gone. Yeah. Hardware and software maintenance, that is going up due to all the new recruits for the new Axon equipment that they need for what do you call it?
Body cam?
The body cams and stuff.
For the, I'm sorry, for what
Police.
equipment?
Police for the Axon equipment. It's a Axon contract that IT has.
So it looked like we were well under 50% spent out of the hardware software lines though, so far.
Out of which one? Hardware, software in the general fund?
I thought it was general fund.
In IT?
Hold on. Bum.
Yeah, we're below budget. We're at 761 out of 1.2 million. That's a little over budget.
Okay. All right. All right. Anything else any other big variances in the general fund?
Health insurance is actually under budget. And electricity is probably going to come in a little over budget in probably every fund.
So
I get
that's
to
when we
those.
were really concerned about.
Yes,
we're
but it's not
told-
that bad this year. And we still have the contract with Constellation that doesn't end until next year, next December. It's the NICEAG rates that have been raised every year. And they went to the Public Service Commission, I believe last year, and they asked for a raise for May of this year, and they went up and they're asking for another raise in May of 2026. And if they get that, that's about 37% is what they're asking for, or 30. I didn't bring the notice, but it's in the 30% range. So it's a hit.
If we jump to the other funds, sewer fund, water fund, ramps, parks, I mean golf course.
Yeah, the refuse fund is projected to break even. They don't have any over budget line or anything like that. They're right on budget. They're basically about halfway and they're about $36,000 above budget right now.
Water?
You want to go to water? All right.
Or I pick an order. I don't care.
I'm just going in alphabetical
Oh, all right, go ahead. Sorry. Keep going.
So our CP fund, which is the ramps fund, is the one that's not doing so well. And it's due to the fact that they have $1.8 million of debt service.
So this is Water Street ramp.
This is Water Street, 7 Holly, State, and Collier Street surface ramp.
Right.
This is all of them combined.
Right, but I'm saying correct me if I'm wrong, the first couple of years on the Water Street, it's a higher payment normally, yes?
Right. Right now, we're on the last year of the ban. The bond that we just went for this year, the first payment comes out next year in 2026.
So that's going to be another high payment.
Yes, but the band drops off. The band was a large amount because it was a $19 million band. Now it's going to go, it'll probably be about the same.
Unfortunately, our revenue projections are not coming in quite where we want them.
No, for some reason, the Water Street is not getting the attention. I think hopefully the signs and additional marketing from Pablo and Carl will help. But we really see an increase once the students come back.
Which has just happened.
Which is just now. The summer months aren't very good, so what Councilwoman Matavesky alluded to, we give free parking on the weekends in July, I think, which kind of hurts the parking ramps a little bit, but it's also an incentive for people to come downtown. So that's tax dollars. So
I will be a good idea to ask in a couple of weeks after now the students are back and settled if we've sold some more permits for Water Street, maybe?
Right. I mean, I don't mind getting the report from Carl and see where he stands. Absolutely.
Okay. So for everyone that says there's no place to park downtown, plenty of room in the Water Street ramp.
There is always plenty. I drive through there once a week or so. Empty.
Okay. So that's ramps next.
Ramps, the golf fund. The golf fund on these reports for June looks like a loss of about $175,000. But in the months of May and June, if you remember, it rained probably much every day and on weekends. So they didn't have a good couple months. But for July and August, they've had outstanding months. So I can tell you that they're about $188,000 away from reaching budget. All their expenses are on. And I think they should break even this year. They still have a payment that they're it's called a due to other funds from the general fund that they still owe back to the city for funding them up front. But once the leases drop off, they have the John Deere lease and they have the
golf carts, right?
The golf cart lease. Once those drop off, that's about $130,000 that is basically going to be that's going to be all revenue. Unless we renew the leases. If they renew the leases for the golf carts, which we may have to if they're falling apart, that they could also increase the rates at the same time, saying, hey, we're getting new golf carts. We're going to increase your golf fees a little bit. It's whatever Brad wants to do over there. But like I said, I think they're going to break even this year. Water fund is doing pretty well. It doesn't look that well here on the reports due to the fact that at the end of the year, we do 4 months of accruals because the water reads for the January 1st billing are all in the months of October, November, and September, October, November, December. And then it bills on January 1st. But all that revenue is generated for the previous year. So we do an accrual back for 100% of that bill. Same thing for February, it's 75%. For March, it's 50%. And for April, it's 25% because it goes from December through March. So it's where the reads are and when the water usage is, we put that revenue back. For the water fund, it's usually about $1.2 million. So if you add that back in and you do a forecast, probably have a shortfall of about 300,000 this year. And we didn't raise water rates, but we may have to think about it next year.
So, is that including the stepped up collection efforts that the treasurer's office has been undertaking?
Absolutely. They do not have, they used to owe the general fund a considerable amount of money. Right now it's that they owe the general fund $1.6 million, but that's just due to their debt service. The general fund pays their debt service, and then as they collect money throughout the year, we pay the general fund back with that cash. It's just the timing of the debt service payments. Debt service payments happen all at once.
So you're looking at about a 300K shortfall this year overall. And what's the cushion left in the fund balance of the water fund? Because that's what we're eating against, right?
Hold on a second. You wanted the fund balance?
That's what the 300,000, I mean, that's what the shortfall would come out of, right?
Yeah, right now the shortfall is 700,000. So it'd be about $1 million that they would have a loss.
But what's the fund balance that you're working?
Negative 718,000 right
Oh.
now, as of June. But I'm projecting they're going to gain that $400,000 back. They'll only lose 300,000.
But there's no cushion left in the fund.
No, there's no cushion left.
So we're looking at absorbing that or raising water rates,
Yes,
most likely.
most likely.
Which I will remind everybody is not council's job. That goes to that's the water commissioner.
That's true. It's up to Tom, but we'll have a discussion.
All right.
The next fund is the sewer fund. The sewer fund is very healthy due to the fact that the $4 million from the FEMA funds in the settlement, plus the $1 million that I took from joint sewer last year. So it's fine, and it is projected to break even this year due to the fact that we raised the rates appropriately last year. So they do have, going back to the water fund, their health insurance is way under budget, but the sewer fund's health insurance is over budget due to the fact that we added another line for health insurance for retirees, and we tried to figure out where the retirees were for water and sewer when they retired, and we kind of miscounted. So there's less in water and more in sewer. So we'll have to figure that out at the end of the year and do some budget amendments. But overall, it's even. It's just the allocation of the money between the two funds for health insurance. And I think one of the funds is coming up on some electricity lines. I think it's the water fund, if I'm correct. Yeah, electricity, they're at 75% in the water fund.
As of June.
As of June, yes. So they will need something in that line as well. Sewer fund looks okay though, for now. Oh,
Is there a reason why they were so over on electric? Is it pumps they run or something? I'm trying to remember it.
yeah, it's all the pump stations that gets the water around the city. Mainly. I don't know. I haven't done an analysis on the electricity on see where it is in what side of the city or what plant or anything. But
All right, refuse, ramps, golf, water, sewer.
the only other fund I brought was the insurance fund,
All right,
and it's breaking even. It still has a healthy fund balance of $800,000. Their expenses are pretty much relatively the same every year to year, unless there's some outrageous safety issue that we need to take care of, or a large insurance settlement coming in or something. Yeah, and our workers' compensation claims from our tail claims are coming in lower and lower every year, so that's a good thing.
Anything else in your opinion we should be monitoring or on the lookout for?
I'm trying to get a handle on the electricity. That's a really hard thing to do. But other than that, no, I don't see any huge problems unless you guys have any questions on something specific.
Folks?
I mean,
any
halfway
questions?
through the year, it's kind of difficult to do some progression from projections due to the fact that, you know, we have a student body that comes in of what, 20,000+. If I don't know if that's the right number, but that really affects our revenues because it really helps out our refuse fund and our parking fund, even on street parking as well.
Presumably sales tax too.
Sales tax too. Absolutely. Helps downtown. Totally.
May I inquire regarding the community development budget?
Which one?
Community development? I wanna say
CDBG?
it's-
CDBG? I did not bring anything about that, but welcome to
Okay.
try to answer any questions I can.
Sure. So, and I want to say this is on page 19 of what was submitted through Basecamp. But I know for the federal CDBG in particular, we're currently in CDY 50, CDY 49, likely still being spent. Are we safe to assume that if I'm calculating correctly, $991,107.27 from CDY 45 to 48 is available unless otherwise encumbered for use?
If that's what it says, I don't know. There was an RL that was out there that was going to use some of the old
Sure.
money. I don't know if it's still out there or not. Did I do screen? I'm sorry. It's 974 in community development. Okay, yeah, those are all, so the 974, 615, 52?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, those are all the revenue lines. that
No, I'm
are-
sorry. Then so available budget, that column for each CDY 45 through CDY 48. I mean, I understand that 49 and 50 are also represented. I just don't anticipate that those are thoroughly spent down yet. So 9776.37 through 220.208.56 or 337, 385.58. Just adding the numbers up.
Oh, I see.
Presumably, since it's in the available budget column, that $991,000 total is available under CDBG dollars.
I'd have to look at the expense side as well to see if the revenues were properly allocated. Because I can run you a budget report for both CDY, what are those?
I think
47, 48, and 49 separately. That'll show each year separately. This is a year-to-date budget report that is inclusive of everything that's been in Munis since day one. So, because it's a multi-year fund, so we have to include everything from every year prior till going forward. So even though it says there's 4 million available in all the revenues, that is not accurate.
Sure. And yeah, and I mean, that was, I would say, the reason for just looking at 45 through 48.
Okay.
I mean, that's a little, I mean, somewhere around 100 grand less or more available. So I think in tabulating the Munis report that you sent for CDBG, we're able to come up with something close given some of the expense variables.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Yeah, let me run a year-to-date budget report for each year separately. That'll really give you a good idea of what it looks like. 47, 48, and 49. 45 through 48.
Does anyone else have anything for CR? CR, thank you so much.
Okay. Thank
With
you.
nothing else, I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make the motion.
And a second.
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 All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you.